Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. First up tonight, continuing coverage of our ongoing Boomtown series. More people are moving to the region, and last year Spokane County's 911 center saw a significant jump in calls. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk went to see what call takers and dispatchers are keeping up with.
Well, employees at Spokane Regional Emergency Communications, also known as SREC, say things used to calm down around 11 p.m., but that's not the case anymore. Last year alone, they picked up an extra 35,000 calls compared to 2020. Right now, they're looking to hire more employees to help with their higher call volumes.
Hello, this is 911.
It doesn't matter what time or day.
Crime check, what are you reporting?
If you dial 911, someone in this room will answer.
We are the first responders.
From burglaries to barking dogs, every call to 911 or crime check rings here.
You just never know what kind of day you're going to have until you sit in that seat. A baby not breathing, or you hang up from that call and you get somebody stole a piece of mail. 911
operational supervisor Karen Crawford knows things can get busy without warning.
It's not even chaos, it's controlled chaos. So we thrive under pressure.
Operators are having to keep up with Spokane County's growing population.
We don't know if she has any weapons.
More people, more emergencies.
It has been a little bit more on everyone's plate.
911 operations manager Heather Thompson says there's anywhere from 6 to 14 call takers on staff, depending on the time of day.
Our busiest time of the day is 4 in the afternoon.
Last year, this center handled more than 592,000 calls, 35,000 more compared to 2020.
35,000 over an entire year it's a lot, but it's not like you fill that all in one day. But it's spread out amongst the call receivers, and they do a great job of handling those call influxes when they do happen.
SREC is continuously hiring to keep up with call volumes.
We are not immune to the staffing issues that are happening around the country right now.
This year, the agency hired 4 additional call takers. We saw 2 women in training, learning what it takes to handle all sorts of incidents, no matter how serious. Supervisors use one example during training, an elderly man who used to call because he didn't know how to make hot tea.
He finally said, my wife used to make me hot tea at 7 o'clock every night after dinner, and she died, and I don't know how to make hot tea. So it seems kind of trivial, but those are also the calls that kind of keep us going.
And as we mentioned, SREC is hiring. We'll have a link with more information included in this story on our website. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. 2 new COVID testing sites are coming to our area, with one opening in Cheney and the other in Hilliard. Curative is setting up a COVID-19 PCR testing site at Cheney Middle School. It'll be open Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 7 in the evening. And they are also setting up a site at the Spokane Public Library in the Hilliard neighborhood. That one will be open Fridays and Saturdays from 10 in the morning until 5 in the evening, and then on Sundays from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. Both sites have walk-up testing. Appointments can also be made ahead of time just by going to curative.com.
But it has experienced harm as a result of the placement and construction of these freeways. And so this is a way to mitigate some of that harm.
Spokane's East Central neighborhood could see more changes along I-90 after the legislature passed Senate Bill 5853. The bill will allow the Department of Transportation to lease state property near I-90 and the North Spokane corridor back to the community. The bill now needs Governor Jay Inslee to sign off before becoming law. However, community members get the final say about what to do with the land. The war in Ukraine is now in its 2nd week tonight, with Russian troops now shelling Europe's largest nuclear plant in the south of Ukraine. According to plant officials, Reuters reports that a fire broke out in a training building near the power plant. That fire has now been put out, but U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said there was no indication of elevated radiation levels at the plant right now. Ukraine's President Zelensky continues pleading with the U.S. and with NATO to establish a no-fly zone. Russian missiles have since rained down on homes, apartment buildings, and 2 schools in northern Ukraine, killing 33 people. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000. We'll send them directly to your phone. All right, let's talk weather now because we saw even more rain today, but hopefully things are about to dry out. Let's get over to Cody Proctor in the Weather Center. And Cody, tomorrow was Friday. A lot of folks hoping for a drier weekend at least.
And we are seeing some really good chances for that right now. Even this evening, that rain has stopped, at least over at the Spokane airport. From what we're picking up right now, mostly cloudy conditions across the region. 36 degrees at the airport with winds coming out of the south, 8 miles per hour right now. Temperatures across the region, bit cool, but not terribly out of norm for us. Mostly in the mid 30s right now. 34 in Ritzville, 36 in Coeur d'Alene and in Spokane, 32 for Omak. We still have this flood advisory that's in effect for much of the panhandle of Idaho. That's in effect until noon tomorrow. Minor flooding is expected according to the National Weather Service. We're getting this flood advisory because of the recent rain, warm temperatures. That's also impacted snow melt and runoff in the mountains. For the next 12 hours, pretty quiet for the most part. Look, no raindrops on that. So we've, according to our models, and over the next few days, we could be getting some more sunshine. So we have that to look forward to as a reprieve from this wet weather. Back to you, Mark.
Definitely looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Cody. The WSU women began their journey in the Pac-12 tournament today down in Las Vegas. Our Brenna Green joining us live from the newsroom tonight as the Cougs just wrapped up their game against Utah. Brenna?
Yeah, these two teams only faced off once this season in Salt Lake City, and the Utes won by 14. WSU has gone 5-2 since that game, so it seemed much improved, but not tonight. WSU down 6 with 3:30 in the first quarter, and the Utes pounded on, scoring every way possible, inside, outside, off turnovers. This is the kind of night the Utes had. This 3 at the buzzer somehow drops. Yeah, they never looked back, winning 70-59. The Cougs now wait to find out their NCAA tournament fate. On to high school basketball. The Meade girls, the favorite to win state, taking on Stanwood tonight. Meade started this one slow. Panthers were 1 for 7 from 3 to begin, but Alicia Suggs hits one here, then off the inbounds. Parker Brown puts it away. Next, Parker gives it off to Taryn Gardner. Ring it up, ladies and gentlemen. Then Gardner's going to flip it to Olivia Monroe. Meade would take over in this one in the fourth quarter and win 52-33. Mount Spokane upset Auburn last week, so they get to play the lower-seeded Montlake Terrace team today. The Wildcats came out on fire. You're going to notice a theme in these highlights. Ryan Lafferty able to make his way into the lane. Then Lafferty feeding it to Maverick Sanders. Then Maverick Sanders is going to send it cross court to Xavier Kamalu Vargas. Then Kamalu Vargas back to Sanders. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. All of the guys mentioned here were in double figures today. Mount Spokane rolls 70-45. Gonzaga Prep, though, bows out of the winner's bracket tonight, losing to Curtis. To Idaho, the Lake City boys, the favorites, win the Idaho 5A tournament, playing 8th seed at Centennial after trailing by as many as 9 early on. Zach Johnson gets a pair here to put the Timberwolves up in the fourth. The Patriots then responded with 8 straight to retake the lead, but that's when Colton Mitchell drives in, lays it off the window to make it 57-56. Moments later, LC back down 5. Mitchell bombs one in from just in front of the bench. He had a team-high 20 points to go along with 9 rebounds, but down the stretch, Centennial was just too good. The 8th seed knocks off the 1 seed, 72-67. The final, a few more games that didn't go our area's way in Boise at the 4A level. Moscow gets downed by Jerome. At the 3A level, Marsh Valley came in a perceived heavy favorite against Bonners Ferry today. Seeding was right there. They fall by 20. We'll be right back.